we will be starting with the TMS lab. So for that, let me just give an overview. So here we will configure TMS for scheduled conferences. We will see how we can do that. So in this, we will add TMS to the TMS server. Then we will set up phone books. We will import it from CUCM and we'll schedule conference. And finally, we'll test this conference on Java clients. Okay, so this is the set of tasks we are going to configure in this lab. It will be more very much detailed and with minute configuration. So let's begin. All right, so firstly, TMS uses the API via HTTPS to communicate with CMS. So TMS will require login to CMS with API access. First, we'll have to log into PuTTY. Okay, so we'll go to PuTTY. And first, we'll have to log into CMS. And from CMS, as we are using CMS cluster, so we are using CMS 1 and CMS 2. And using CMS 1 and 2, we'll have to enable this user, TMS user that we will create here for it to be able to access the portal. So first, we'll go to CMS 1. All right. So we are in CMS 1. We need to create new login with the API access for the TMS user. So the command is user add. Then you give a username. So I'm giving the username TMS. This is not a part of command. This is the username I'm configuring, and that is for API access. Okay. Then it will ask for the password. Username is TMS that we have configured already in the previous command. Then we will configure the password. Password. It asks to confirm password. So we have added this user to log in with API access for TMS successfully. The same thing we have to do for this user to access CMS 2. So, just let me log again. Right here, we have to repeat the same command, user add TMS API. put the password. Configure a new password. All right, it has successfully added the user as well. So that part is done. Next, we will now log into the TMS using the web interface. These to Firefox. Let me check what our TMS IP is. It's 10.151.20. So 10.1.5.20. Use /TMS. Put username password. It's like this. Meter. Okay, this is our TMS. Yeah, Telepresence Management Suite. Here we can see things like portal information, like a quick dashboard here. Then we can see bookings here where we can create the conferences. We can use monitoring to monitor conferences and with different modes. System for various configurations like for navigation, adding the users and different files in here, different types of templates and so on. Phone books, manage phone books from here. Reportings and administrative tools for like logs and activity status, diagnostics, billing, and information like that. So in this, what we need to do is we have to go to System Navigator. So devices are added using this option, System Navigator. Here we can add devices like UCM, Expressway that we want to add. So here we do not have any right now. We will create a folder who's here in the CNF. New folder. I will name it our infrastructure. So sure. Uh, and that's a description not required. I've created a new folder. And here I will add system, which will be my CMS. Okay, so go to infrastructure, add system. Here it will ask you the IP that you want to add the system. So I want to add CMS, which is 10.1.5.31. And also make sure to specify the port, the web admin port, which is 445. Then you have to put the username and password in the same page. When you scroll down, you will find the username password here. Username is TMS. This is for its own authentication. So it's going to go to next. And it will be added. So you can see that it is added, but there's no name. If you want, you can add or click this. And you can see some settings like summary where you can find tickets if there is any ticket, settings, clustering information, connections to it, permissions and logs, all that for this particular system that is our CMS. Right. So let's see summary here. So in the summary, you can see some warnings here, dial number configuration error. We do not have any dial number configured, that's why. Blank system name and so on. System status you can see over here. It's like the page where you can see all the summary of the tickets and so on and the system status. In the settings, we can add these settings. So we will click settings and let's make some settings here. Just a minute. Try to load. Okay, now we are in settings. Click edit settings. Let's edit some settings like name. We will give a name here. Suppose UCM. Yeah. Or let's give it a name. Not C for CUCM. This system is for CMS, so let's give it a name CMS1. This is our CMS1, so just to make it specific here. So CMS1 under here. If you scroll here, system contact, you can create a system contact who you want to be as a system contact for this particular system. So let's suppose if there are any from the list, you can select, show some. Let me select Asha as the system contact. Once we have selected that, we can review settings like IP zone, time zone, all these settings we can do from here, software version, TMS scheduling settings. If you want to allow, let's just disallow HD23 dialing. Do not want HD23 dialing, only save, just to save some administrative work here. So that is it. CMS, let me see the settings here. CMS1 name is configured. Okay, in alternate IP, let's select this for clustering. So as a backup, we are selecting alternate IP. And if you're selecting alternate IP of another CMS, then again, you have to verify your identity, username, password. Okay, that is it. Just check with that. Let's save. Sometimes in TMS, it is a very common issue. We need to force refresh to apply those settings. This is done. Let's go to extended settings. Here we can add domain. Yeah, so let's suppose our domain for the conferences will be meet.cll which is our domain here. .internal. Numeric base will be the number of the conference that we will be using to dial into the conference. So let's create a number for that. 12991, any random 299. You just have to remember this. Then numeric ID quantity, let's keep 10. Save. This numeric ID means how many conferences you want to allow. It can be a larger number in production. Usually it is not like 10, for just 11 or 11. That's what we are using. So the domain is the domain which is used by CMS. The numeric ID here is what the users will dial before the domain, and like with the user and then domain, and it needs the range of any unique number within your dial plan. It should not overlap your dial plans. It has to be a different number as a me number. And numeric ID here, we have configured it to 10 to restrict the number of conferences we want to create here. We have saved it. Okay, it is done. We can now see the summary. So because it was earlier showing some warnings here because there was no name or IP and such, the basics configurations done, so it was showing there, but now it's saying system has no open or acknowledged tickets, which is a good status. So we can confirm from here, and then we can go to the next task, that is setting up the phone book. So this part is done. We have added our CMS to our Telepresence Management Suite. We will now set up the phone books. So for that, in this lab, the endpoints we have are registered to CUCM. So to demonstrate you from CUCM import, I'm using the CUCM import, and our phone books will be imported from CUCM as the source. And the main use of TMS is to schedule calls only from the TMS. So you will here see that how we can use those phone books and that are available once we will import them. So let's add CUCM to TMS as a system. That is first thing we'll need to do, like we have added CMS. And for that, we will go to structure, add system. And this time we have to add CUCM IP 10155. This is the IP of our CUCM. Next. So one thing I have not configured here, just intentionally to show you that previously when I added CMS as a system, I entered the IP address, then I entered the username password. But this time I've only added the IP address and added this system. So what happens with this, just to see that what happens in such cases, maybe just a configuration issue or something. It will add the system, but it will say wrong password, the credentials will not be matched. So you can do that later on, modify it later on. Not a problem. What we have to do is check this and add system despite warnings, and it will be added automatically in case there are no credentials or no authentication there. Then click finish adding system. Here, if you want, you can edit. So let's suppose CUCM. So just open this. Okay, here we can see some warnings in the CUCM. That is because of the authentication error. As we have the username password, we need to enable it here. So let's do that. Settings. Username TMS. IP address is fine. Host name is optional. We don't have to. Track system or network by IP address or host name. IP address is fine. System connectivity reachable on LAN. Fine. Just 1 moment. Let's just go back to the summary and see. Still showing here. Or we can do it from here. It sometimes doesn't take.
This username must be there in CUCM, correct?
Yes.
Local.
Wrong username or password. Okay. In the CUCM, it is not this. Lab, trying to recall what is it? Admin. And yeah, okay. So I was putting wrong username. So for CUCM, it is created as admin and the same password. Now it is authenticated. No tickets are there. Things just to make sure we can do a force refresh that everything is applied. No tickets are there. Now, next thing we need to do is we have to add the CUCM as the phone book source. So for that, we will go to phone books here. Yeah. Under phone books, we have to do manage phone book sources. Yeah. Click new, name it. Our CUCM. TMS using CUCM here. So CUCM we have to select as a type and save. Okay, this is saved. We can click test connection. Source connected OK, which means the connection is successful. We can click view contacts. Currently, no contacts are there. We will wait for it. Just a minute. Let's update the frequency. Save. This will be the refresh frequency to synchronize. It will take some time to import and it should come up here then. Yeah. Okay. So now the users are imported. So these are the users imported from CUCM as the CUCM details we have mentioned in the phone book source. So that is successfully added our phone book source here. Additionally, we can also manually add the phone books or the phone contacts here. Yeah. So you can create new phone book. You can add either CUCM as a source or any other servers as a source like Expressway or any external servers like Active Directory and so on. So in next step, we will see how we can create a new phone book and add the CUCM source there. So phone books, manage phone books. Let's create one more. One we have already created, which are the contacts imported from CUCM. Next, let's create and name all users. Right. Connect. From here also, what we have to do is we have to first connect it with the CUCM. CUCM source we have added, the users were imported. Now to create the phone book, what we are doing is in the phone book, we are using this CUCM as a phone book. Okay, we will go to access control. We can give users the access. Let's suppose I want to give read access to the users. Save it. View contacts. And we should be having these contacts. Yeah, all 6 contacts we can see in the phone book here. So this is the final step where we should be able to see it. Okay. So access control to provide access, read, write, and so on. And we can use this tab and enable read access or update access and so on to the users. These are the 2 options, or you can revoke access for like video administrators or for the additional users that you have